Hello, welcome everybody to the Michael Lab Show, episode 229. Happy Thursday, happy September 23rd, 24th. Today is the 22nd. Let me make sure I got this right. Today is the 20th 2019 year anniversary of Google News being developed. It was developed September 22nd of 2002. It is available in Arabic language, Bengali language, and more. It is owned by Google. What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Thursday. I don't have we are killing it on this podcast, man. I don't know, people listen to it. I need to get over that bullshit, man. I'm always talking mad shit to myself, and it's like, hey man, you don't need to do that. You know, like I don't need to do that. Boy Scouts shutting down, FDA not passing boosters. That's what I have on my list to talk about today. But there was this, I don't know how much I want to say. So there was this person who I saw, and I was like, man, that person's lost a lot of weight. And I was like, she's lost a lot of weight. And one of my friends was like, yeah, I wonder, I was like, wonder what's going on. I wonder if she's sick or something. And then he said, I think he's like, yeah, she has lost weight and it was for an event that was coming up. And I go like, by the way, it's 9:50 in the morning. I'm having a Diet Coke. So that's how I'm functioning today. I had a crazy workout today at the gym. I felt so good. I've been lifting heavy again lately. It's been feeling really good. Like on this diet, I feel really, really good on this diet. Is this super dark in this room? I feel like it's super dark in this room. Am I just losing my mind? I'm probably just losing my mind. I need more light. That's what I need. Anyways, this OMAD thing is awesome. It really is. And at this point, you guys listen and you're like, dude, you have a new way of eating like weekly. And that's true. I do. But this has been really nice. It's been really nice. It's called OMAD. So it's one meal a day. Over the weekend, I messed up. I had a couple meals a day. Just kidding. I had one meal a day, but it was over a 4-hour period. So multiple meals. But it's been really nice. It's good because it allows me to focus more and it takes my obsession off of food away. I think a lot of food disorders and a lot of eating disorders comes from control. It's a control thing. And I think with OMAD, it's so easy for me to just be like, I eat at this time and I eat one time a day and I'm done. My job's done for the day. And it's really nice, and in a lot of ways it is kind of, binging again, but I'm not binging because I know it's yeah, it's probably not the healthiest way of eating, but I like it a lot. It's good. Makes me feel good. I can regulate my workouts a lot better. And I feel so much stronger. And I don't know if it's because I'm eating carbs again. That probably has a lot to do with it. Actually, you know what's up with the light right now? It's because I have an all white shirt on. I think that's what's going on. But it's nice because I'm eating carbs again. But I'm still getting the benefit of keto because I'm fasting for like 24 hours. I think actually last Wednesday I went 28 hours and then I had a shakaroni pizza, which was awesome. And I actually started this way of eating because of the shakaroni pizza, which if you think about it that way, it's probably not the healthiest thing to do. It's probably not like a good reason to get into a new way of eating because you want to eat a huge extra large pizza from Papa John's. If I was a therapist and if I told that to a therapist, I'd be like, are you sure you want to continue that way of eating because you are rewarding yourself with a huge pizza? And I'd be like, it's awesome. I would make up a reason. I'd be like, it's good for me. But it's been feeling really good. Like today at the gym, I actually was able to squat 315, so 3 plates on each side for 3 sets of 2 again, which was nice. I haven't hit 315 for years. Like literally years. I'm 25 right now. Last time I probably hit 315 was 23 years old when I was 230, 220. So it's pretty nice right now that I'm squatting it for 3 sets of 2, 6 reps at 210. I'm about 210 right now, 205 to 210, depends on what time of the day I weigh myself. But it felt really good. I just threw on leggings, some knee sleeves. I love knee sleeves. People don't ask me a lot, but I have a lot of conversations with people about knee sleeves. They're not cheating. I don't think they're cheating. I think they're actually really good for your knees. And you can squat more. And you can squat more because I think they just stabilize you. And they also give you a little bounce at the bottom. But I highly, highly recommend using knee sleeves, especially if you're going to squat a little bit heavy. And if you want to squat for a long time, not like during the day, but like just in your lifetime, which I think you should. I think everyone should be squatting. I think it's extremely healthy for your body. And I know there's some people who say the other. People say it's unhealthy, and people say it's, it's not necessary. But I think it's super necessary. I think squatting, deadlifting, and benching are like the best workouts. They're like the most natural movements of your body. But if you're not doing them right, I think it's really bad for your body. Like if you're not squatting the right way, it definitely what'd she say? Which it is. I have the best girlfriend in the world. It's crazy. Like, Taylor and we're moving on to 5 years now. November 1st is going to be 5 years together. And, just to be perfectly transparent with you, coming off of what I was in before, there's a lot that's happened, right? Like I think you're in a good relation with somebody when they teach you how to love yourself and to be comfortable with who you are and to call out your flaws. Like, I mean, going like 2, 3, 4 years ago, like a completely different human being I was in so many ways that I don't even realize. It's like when you're coming out of a depression, you don't even realize you're depressed, but so many insecurities that I let just eat away at me. So many ways that I viewed myself in such a negative light, which I still do at times. Like I call, like my buddy actually is a really good friend of mine. I don't want to use people's names on the podcast because it's just, some people don't want their names to be shared with thousands of people. Dude, my back is like all shredded up. I have skin falling off my neck. Feels so good. Feels so good to be lifting heavy again. Dude, that felt so good. 315 felt so nice. 3 sets of 2. God damn, dude. We're going to be pushing 4 or 5 again. The guy right next to me was squatting like 465. Just an absolute, or 425. Absolute beast. Just a man of a man. Just, it looked like, I think he was I don't know. He's either a cop or a veteran, but he was it's just a savage. I have like Olympic lifting shoes on. I have like knee sleeves on, and he's over there just in like Nikes and a belt, just squatting away with like basketball shorts, or short shorts, which is what I had, just squatting so much weight. And I'm over here going, like getting all pumped and shit, and he's just moving 425 like it's nothing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's goals right there. But you find yourself sometimes, life is weird, right? Because it's not about, the whole goal is to grow, right? That's what you want to do. You want to constantly grow yourself. You want to expand your mind. You want to push past boundaries of thinking. Like, so many people believe in one thing, but they refuse to expand their knowledge base. And that, I think, is death before you die. I think giving up the ability to think more and to push into boundaries that you thought were not possible is death. To me, that's death. It's killing your soul in a lot of ways. But it's so easy to get caught up in that. It's so easy in this world that we live in. It's such a simple world. It's not a hard world, especially in the United States. Like, we forget how easy it is. And yet, like, there's definitely struggles and there's definitely things that are hard. But the thing that makes it harder is the way that you interface with yourself, the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you look at yourself, the way you communicate with yourself, the way you treat yourself, the way you feed yourself, the way you indulge into things and vices. And if all those things are negative, the way you interface the world is going to be so much worse. And when it's worse, and when you're interfacing in a negative way with the world, negative things are going to happen to you. I don't believe in free will per se, but I do feel like the person that you become is a reaction to the things that happen in your life. And I think if you constantly put yourself in situations that are negative, negative things are going to happen to you. And if your self-talk is in a constantly negative way, you're not going to ever feel good in this world. And it's so fascinating because Taylor and I, we both suffer from the same thing. Like, we both, not much me anymore, but like super like low self-esteem in a lot of things. And it's weird because if you talk to us and if you get to know us, I don't think anybody would say that about us. But we counteract each other in such a positive way. Like, she's expanded my mind in the world of science, like, and like the different viewpoints that I just didn't grow up with. I grew up Catholic. I grew up Roman Catholic. Like, I grew up in a cult. Like, not that my parents were part of the cult, but like, just the people around me. It was a cult, right? It was, you believe this, there's no other way. So like, that was ingrained in my head. So like, before I met her, the things I believed in, I didn't know why I believed them, but I did know that I didn't want to believe the other side because I shouldn't believe the other side. And it's like, it's been such a beautiful experience to like be with somebody who challenges those thoughts in your head. I'm like, damn. And now I'm addicted to that. Now, like, the moment that I start believing something, I'm like, shit, that's good. That's a good thing to believe in something. But there's a lot of other people who believe in that. What makes me better than them? I should learn their side. And I think that's what we're missing so much in this country is we don't do that anymore. We refuse to listen to the other side. Even if the other side has great points, we don't want them. We don't care about them. We would much rather die on our own hill than, venture off to another one to survive. And it's dangerous. It's not a good thing. I mean, just look at the news, for example. Like, I was joking around this morning with my family. I turned on CNN. My family's a Fox kind of family. You know what? Judge if you want to, but that's where I come from. A Fox kind of family. Not me. I don't watch the news. I watch I guess I watch stock news. Every morning I watch CNBC and Bloomberg, just to see what's going on. But it's a Fox kind of family, if you know what I mean. Not me, though, per se. But I turn on CNN just for the hell of it. I'll watch it. I don't care. I don't have a gut reaction to it. But you can just see the divisiveness just like between the parties. Like, it's so aggressive. And it's so like, if you found a home in one side of the party, you're like never going to look at the other side. It's just constant like digging your heel into the ground. Like, I'm right. You're wrong. And it's like, oh, that's not good. That's not how things get fixed. That's how things fall apart. Jesus Christ. I just got a huge grant from school. Look at this. Stocks are finally going up, dude. It's like, it's been a rough month. I know, like, historically September is a rough time for the stock market, and I was prepared for that, and I doubled down. I invested more and more and more, but like, it's been rough, dude. Like, this whole evergreen thing. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but like, this evergreen thing in China, it's like, I think it's like the second biggest real estate company in China, and they're defaulting on their loans, and I think they have like over $300 million or $300 billion. I think it was, let me look it up. I can't be completely wrong with this. I shouldn't be completely wrong with this. Evergreen, is it Evergreen China? Evergreen China. China's Evergreen partners with e-commerce firm to build Chinese private developers. Debt struggles rattles investors. Evergreen's restaurant binging fat cat. Okay, so yeah, it's this huge real estate company, this huge property developer, and they own so much property in China. I think the second highest. And so many American companies, banks are invested in China. Like, this is a thing. Like, not a conspiracy, but one of the negative things you can tie into globalization is that every country depends on each other 100%. And it's never been so transparent than this past year when you've been seeing like just the way China has been dealing with it. People forget China is a communist country. Like, this is something that Americans have America's weird with communism because at a young age, I know a lot of kids in college, I would guess that they're definitely socialist, but borderline Marxist would accept communism. And and I'm not saying communism is bad, Marxism is bad, socialism can be bad. capitalism can be bad. They both can be horrible systems, but we have, and it's a lucky viewpoint we have in this country to view communism as a unicorn. We don't view it as a reality because we've never had it in this country. We've never had communism in this country. We've never had a dictatorship. And no matter how much you hated Trump, Trump was not a dictator. He was not a dictator at all. Would he want to be? Maybe. Yeah, but I also think a lot of politicians would want to be a dictator. I think if Joe Biden could be in office forever, he would be. I think Obama was the same way. I think when people get power and they get a little bit of power, they want all the power. And I don't blame that as a human. I don't blame that on the people. I blame that as being a human being. That's a human. That's what you want. You want power. You want power or money. Because you want to be in control of everything. But like this past year, you've just seen this globalization and like the dark side of it. You know, there's a lot of benefits of it, like innovation, the ability to, stop some war, the ability to travel more, to bring, countries as one. But like the negative side effect of it, you don't realize how much money is in China. Like when Jinping when he just made Alibaba CEO just disappeared, Jack Ma, he was gone for like months. And like people didn't know where he was. And then he just appeared one day and like apologized. But like when he disappeared, he was talking out on Alibaba or out on the communist regime. And Alibaba is like the Google, or it's the Amazon. It's the B2B Amazon of China. It's a business to business platform. I'm fully aware of it. I used to use it for my clothing company. I use Alibaba all the time. And then like they started, they like got rid of video games. Like if you're under a certain age, you can only play like 2 hours video games a week. And that crashed the stock market, Chinese stocks, and like they started pinning like tech companies really hard. And like you just don't realize how much influence other countries have in the politics and the markets of the United States. And maybe I'm just ignorant, but I've learned so much this past year about just how much power these countries have, especially China, man. It's really fascinating to see the whole stock market crash off this news of China, because you think it wouldn't, but it does, because we're all intertwined. We need China. China needs us. China needs us because our companies built the factories in there. Like if it wasn't for Apple, if it wasn't for Nike, if it wasn't for these huge companies, you think China would be as advanced as they are? Probably not. But we supply them with jobs, and what we get in return is products that we can make a huge profit margin on. And then the profit margins mean investors make more money, more people make more money. If Apple didn't have the ability to produce their phones in China and the Philippines, and didn't have the ability to mine minerals for their phones in places in Africa, in South America, if they didn't have that access, those phones would be so much more expensive, or they would be cheaper, because the reason why they're expensive is because they have brand recognition and people are willing to pay. I think one of my buddies said in total he was going to pay like $1,600 for a phone, but they have the ability to do this because of their brand. But the issue with, and I'm in the market, and I'm in investing, and I love it. I do. I love investing. It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so counterintuitive, and I understand the way that can be taken, but it's fun and it works. But the reason why Apple is the best, I think one of the best I think maybe Google, maybe Amazon, but I think it's the best company. Warren Buffett he owns so much of it. I think 40% of Berkshire Hathaway portfolio is made up of Apple. Bill Gates has a shit ton of Apple stock too. But it's a great company. It's a great company because it has a solid product. It has the best margins. The best margins are because of the way that the phones get made, which is made in China, which is made really cheaply. In return, we have to do things for China. We can't upset China. If you don't think China is one of the biggest purchasers of Apple iPhones, you're crazy. Actually, maybe they don't own. Does Apple sell in China? Apple's net sales in Great China nearly doubled over year to year, $17.7 billion in the 3 months ended in March. Yeah. Okay. So they sold $18 billion worth of product in China in 1 quarter. That's $72 billion they're on pace for in a year. See what I mean? Like, they need China. We need China. I need China. If it wasn't for China, Apple stock wouldn't be going up. The ETFs I own, each one has 10% of their holding is in Apple. And this is why it's never going to end, because so many people have money in it, and you can't stop that. Ethics are never going to be risen above money. And I'm saying that I wish it was, but it just won't be. I mean, it could be, but I just don't see that possible. Money's power, dude. Money, if you follow the money trail in anything, you'll find the answer. And maybe you don't want to find the answer, but you will find the answer. You will find the answer. But it's crazy to watch this just Chinese news just completely crashing the market. And I think it's done. I think the market's going to be going back up. September's always the worst time of the year for the market, especially September 17th, which was like the beginning of the downfall. But then it went into this past week. But I think it's going to be beautiful. I think a lot of people are selling right now, taking profits for tax purposes, and then they're going to buy back in, and they're going to buy back in like a freaking tsunami wave. And it's going to be a bull market to the end of 2030. It's going to be a bull market for a while. I think the days of investing are forever changed. And here's the reason why I say that, I don't think it's going to be nearly as volatile as it used to be. Or it's going to be more extremely volatile, but the swings are not going to be over weeks. They're going to be like that. Like, I'm talking days, maybe even hours of swings, because it's a completely different landscape now. People that invest are people like me. People that are on social media invest, and they make up a huge portion. And you got to realize that these people are in school. These are middle school kids, high school kids, college kids. They're going to grow up and graduate, and they're going to be in the market. And they're going to be in the market in such a different way than brokers are in the market. They're going to be on Twitter. They're going to tweet things out. They're going to go on Reddit. And huge people are going to buy huge positions and hold it. I think it's completely changed. You can't be a huge, yeah, you can. There's a room for hedge fund managers, but Twitter is a hedge fund manager now. Ray Dalio can get up there and trash a stock and say, oh, Apple's no longer looking good. Get off of MSNBC. Not saying he did that. He did not do that, but he could do that and then, crash Apple stock, just crush it because of what he said, because he owns Bridgewater, which is the biggest, hedge fund company in the whole world. And then when he gets off MSNBC, file to buy millions of shares for a discounted rate, stock goes up 20% because people are buying at a dip, and then he makes a shit ton of money. That's what they do. The hedge fund managers, they hedge their bets. That's what they say. Because companies in this country have just as much say as people, which is wild to me. It's crazy that companies are recognized as people. But it is, I think the days of those hedge fund managers having all the power are over. Now, there's still a shit ton of power, right? They're still really wealthy. They're billions of dollars worth of companies. Berkshire Hathaway's, Bridgewater Associates, BlackRock, like these guys are still, they're going to be, we still, it's 10:20 on the 22nd of Wednesday. At 2 o'clock, Federal Powell's going to talk, or Fed Chair Powell's going to talk, and whatever he says is going to dictate the market. Like, that guy still has so much power. But I think times are changing, man. Robinhood has really put a glitch into the system. The matrix has been glitched. The glitch is in the matrix, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's a net positive. They try to trash it, saying people are losing money and, like, it's bad for young kids. Well, guess what, bro? You can't tell us that, it's good to learn from your mistakes and then tell us that we're making a mistake and it's bad. It's going to happen. I lost money. I was an idiot. I tried to chase the meme stocks for a little bit, and I lost money. But guess what? That's what happens. You lose money, and we all know that, and that's fine. Losing money's fine. I think it's if you're taking huge risk that at an older age when you don't have that much money, I think that's ignorant. I think that's dumb. I think you're setting yourself up for failure, and whatever happens, you deserve. You shouldn't have done that. But this idea that young kids are not allowed to go out and make mistakes on the stock market's crazy. Like, let them get burned. Who cares, man? I don't know. What else is going on, man? It's going to be a short podcast. FBI confirms Gabie Petito's body discovered in Wyoming. Death initially ruled a homicide. Dude, I don't know what's happening with this. I've only faintly been following it. But it seems like a wild story. I know, like, a body discovered. To me, my initial reaction when I saw this was a toxic relationship that turned violent. That's what I saw this as. I see this as two young individuals who are mentally disabled. Not mentally disabled, but irrational firecrackers as individuals. And then together, the way that they function is through physical and verbal violence. And they've always been that way. And this is just me speaking from an outside. I have no idea. No one knows what this is. Another thing that is somewhat bothersome. Nobody knows exactly what happened. But we make these accusations so quickly. You know, guilt by public is the worst. I was listening to Amanda Knox. She was on Rogan's podcast, and she was the girl who was accused and spent 4 years in prison for murdering her roommate, even though it wasn't her. She didn't kill the roommate. There's no evidence to support that she killed a roommate, but now forever, she is known as a girl who, you know, a lot of people think that she did, or she's known as a person who didn't take it serious, but like she's guilty by public opinion. And like, I'm not saying that we should, what I'm saying is until the evidence is out, it's dangerous to just blame somebody for something that maybe wasn't them. We just don't know. We have no idea. Yeah, they said it was a homicide, but you know, maybe it wasn't him. It could be him. He's hiding. It seems like it's him, but I don't know. I know that's natural. I know that's human reaction to jump to conclusions, but I think it's dangerous because sometimes they're just not true. You know, like there was an incident in Baltimore just this past summer where this young girl, she went missing and she died, and her body was found in the water, and people assumed that it was a murder for the longest time. For like a solid week, it was a murder. She was killed. I think she was local. I think she was from Severna Park. But she wasn't. She was intoxicated and drowned. She fell into the harbor. She probably hit her head or something and died. It wasn't a murder. But we're already going out and talking about just things that aren't true. You know, saying that men are this, men are violent, I'm not saying that they're not, but what I'm saying is until the evidence is collected and put out, we shouldn't be jumping to conclusions because people's lives are ruined even if they didn't commit something. And I think that's dangerous. After speaking with a couple, officers classified as a mental health break. In a police report, the officer wrote that Petito Laundrie and a witness all said Petito slapped Laundrie after an argument, and Laundrie then grabbed her face and pushed her back. The officer said neither Petito nor Laundrie wanted to press charges. Petito's last known contact with family was in late August while she was in Grand Teton National Park. She was reporting missing September 11th. The first word that popped in my brain was coward, to be honest with you. Petito's friend, Rose Davis, told CBS News, "You're supposed to love her. You're supposed to marry her." I want to text him and just be like, please, please give me something. So I don't know. I mean, clearly they were violent with each other. We all know relationships like that like they function off of violence. If you take the violence out, they won't be together, which is like super dark because you probably shouldn't be together with somebody if you're just beating them all, if you're just beating their ass all day. But I think it's more common than we expect. Seems like it's just a violent relationship, and you know, potentially he had enough. I don't know. It's fascinating though. What else is going on? 2021 UFC Fighter Swimsuit Edition. Costco warns customers of delays on essential household items. Fewer than 1/3 of Americans want to see Roe versus Wade. Drive-by shootings. Fun. Gas station clerk murdered for asking a customer to wear a mask. I don't understand why we... Oh, God. These things, like, the media picks these one things and then says it's the entire, like, an anti-masker... gas station clerk murder for asking customers. So an anti-masker murders somebody. So all anti-maskers are violent. Like, we use these catchphrases that are so simple. Like these like anti-mask, anti-vax, anti-abortion, like such a, like the word anti, against. Doesn't mean that, like, it's, I don't know, it just seems it seems like we're such a complex species, we're such an advanced species, but we use these dumb terms and we use like these bilateral things and like these party names and like, I'm a rhino, you're a donkey, or I don't even know what they are, but like, it just seems like we're so advanced, but we're so fucking dumb in so many ways. Like, I'm not anti-vaccine, but I'm not like pro, like, I don't think everyone should have to get the vaccine. I don't think that. I don't think you should have to get the vaccine if you don't want to get the vaccine. Like, murder me, bro. I'm a piece of shit, but I got the vaccine. I don't tell people I got the vaccine. I'm honest with people. That's a weird thing. It seems like you're not allowed to be honest about your experience with the vaccine. I got the first shot. I was miserable. It sucked. I didn't want to get the second shot. I was pissed I got the shot. I was like, this sucks. This sucks. This sucks. I can't sleep. I'm sweating all night. I'm shaking. I hated it. I hated getting this shot. But I'm not allowed to be honest about that because that makes me what? Honest? That makes me honest about the vaccine. Dude, it sucked, man. And when people ask me, I tell them it sucked. And if they decide not to get the vaccine because of that, I don't go like, oh, I fucked up. No, that's just me speaking the truth. Speaking the truth is all you can do. And it's like people don't speak the truth. People just don't speak the truth anymore. They just say these things to pander to fucking party side. 600 people evacuated as lava nears the sea. Fatal accident. Oh, that's Annapolis. Dude, like, there's been a weird thing with like zebras where I live. Like, zebras have been flying around everywhere on the highways. Like, real zebras. This isn't Texas, bro. This is Maryland. I have some listeners in Australia. And I've seen like Australia's been blowing up. Like, it's been blowing up. They've had so many anti-mask, anti-lockdown, anti-vaccine passport protests. Like, their numbers are going through the roof, man. It's like the country's not having it anymore, dude. They're pissed, bro. They are pissed about these vaccine mandates. This is what happens when you push people. Yeah, like, they peaked at September 15th, 1,600 cases. 1,800 cases. It looks like they're going back down now, but like, goddamn, 2,000 cases. Like, you just can't constantly push. If you push people too much, they will pop off. It's just what it is. This is how it works, man. You can't assume like people. I don't know why I get so into it, but I get frustrated when I see when people are like, these people are protesting. They're not bad people. They just want freedom back. They don't want to have to be forced to do something. Like, you're not a bad person because you don't want to get the vaccine. You're not a bad person because you believe Donald Trump was a better president than Biden. You're not a bad person if you're pro-vaccine. You're not a bad person if you think Joe Biden's the best president of all time. Like, you're not a bad person. You just have different thoughts. Like, there used to be a time where you accepted that people were different than you, but like, that's gone, dude. Like, we're not allowed to do that anymore. You're not allowed to have different thoughts anymore. And it's weird. It's a weird thing. And it's like, if you disagree with me, I will attack you and your whole family. Like, you as a person is a failure. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. This FDA ruling was really fascinating. Fascism. I was in class and we were talking about social issues, and the girl in front of me, she says fascism, and fascism's like, it's like the far right. That's kind of what they call it, like a dictatorship. It's a funny thing to say. And my teacher's from India. She's only been here for 4 years. So like she doesn't fully understand America yet. Like we do a lot of like complaining about minor things and we make them seem like huge deals. And so this kid, she says fascism. My teacher's like, what exactly is fascism? Like she didn't really understand. And like, you know, people are talking about poverty and equality and stuff like that. And she's like, please enlighten me, because she genuinely comes from a world that's like where there is actual like inequality. Like I'm not saying here there's not, like when people say that, it's like, oh, well, you don't think, no, there's definitely inequality here. I agree. But like, I was fascinated because we had to share our social issues, and it'd be hilarious if people in the class listen to my podcast. I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying. A lot of people say, and it was fascinating because a lot of kids, these are kids, right? These are kids younger than me, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I'm 25 years old, so I'm a full grown adult, I guess, at this point. I don't know when that will ever sink in. I don't think ever will sink in. But a lot of people said things but couldn't explain what they said, which I was like, oh, that's the thing that's going on in the whole world. A lot of people are saying things, but then when questioned, can't explain what they're saying. They don't have a reason for what they're saying. The only reason why they're saying it, and like a lot of people in the class were like, well, you know, like in the news, and like, but like a few kids said politics is a social issue. And then they said like two sides, they can't seem to agree. They're constantly arguing. I'm like, that's politics. Is that a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing to argue. I think arguing is fine. But it's when you lie, that's when it becomes an issue. But it was kind of it was thought provoking for me. It's like, oh, this is what's happening. People are saying things and doing things, but not knowing why they're saying or doing them. They're just doing them for points. And to see it firsthand in class, I was like, it's interesting. It's interesting to see. I don't know. I thought it was fascinating. So, but I don't know. What else is going on, man? These new iPhones, man. Weird. I don't know. I won't get one. I don't want one, but I hope a shit ton of people do want them, so the stock can go up, so I can make more money off of you people buying them. $1,300 for an iPhone can get you, I think, about $145 right now. Apple is. Let me see. Finally, stocks are going up. Jesus Christ. Yeah, $145 is Apple right now. $1,300, $135 divided by $1,300 divided by 135 equals 10 shares. If it gets to $200, 55 times 10, you can make $550 off of your. If you just took that money from buying an iPhone and you just invested it, you can make almost $600 if the stock is at $200. Just saying. But also just keep buying the iPhone. Don't buy the stock, because buying the iPhone helps the stock go up because the numbers go up of people buying the phone, which is good for me because I'm selfish as shit. What else is going on? Netflix bought the rights to Roald Dahl's beloved childhood stories, which is fascinating. That's the guy who did the not the Cheesecake Factory, the Chocolate Factory, the Charlie the Chocolate Boy Chocolate Factory. So they're gonna, Netflix is, it's fascinating. I think it was the Emmys. All the Emmys, 100% of every award that was won was a streaming network, and like the game has changed. Like CBS, ABC, Fox, like these companies have no power in entertainment anymore. Everything is Netflix. Everything is Amazon Prime. Everything is Apple TV. Everything is HBO. Everything is Disney Plus. Like the streaming networks are in. Like I was talking to Taylor, when we get a place, we're not going to get cable. No one, 80,000 people are canceling their cable bill or their cable subscription a day. 80,000 people. How many is it? That's 80,000 times 5. 80,000 times 5 times 52. 20 million people are going to cancel. 20.8 million people just in this country alone. That is like, that's crazy, man. Like the times have completely, they're done. They're done. Ariana Grande and John Legend walk off when Blake Shelton and Kelly Clarkson start fighting. What? That's stupid. What else is going on? Who knows? I don't care. Challenges with toilets in space. CDC says COVID-19 can spread in vaccinated. Thank you, CDC. Didn't know that. Appreciate that. Even though I know people who've gotten the vaccine and have gotten COVID. New R1 COVID-19 variant spread quickly as Kentucky nursing home. There's gonna be all kinds of variants of virus. That's what they do. That's how they kill people. This virus wants to kill as many people as possible, so it's gonna keep changing and it's gonna keep killing people. That's about it. Got nothing else to talk about, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. That was episode 228 of the Michael Lab Show. I'll catch you guys in episode 229. We're closing in 230 episodes. I have to get ready to go to school. I have to do my OMAD meal, which I'm probably not going to eat till 7:30 tonight. Probably 7:30. Think about having pizza. I kind of want a frozen pizza. I got that $1,000 grant, which hasn't even set in yet. That is so huge for me. God, that makes me feel so. $1,000 invested. That's awesome. It was stressful, but we're all good now. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend or family member. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I'll catch you guys in episode 229 of the Michael Lab Show. Peace out. See ya.